What is up, everybody? Let me see if I can get my stuff straight. I was trying to take care of some other stuff while I was getting this rolling. So, Barton Fink, my brother, what is going on? So, in case you guys didn't read the whole tag, we're looking at the Colorado Senate. Let me see. I got soundage here. Let me know if you can hear me okay. So the Colorado Senate is supposed to bring up the SB25-003 today. It's on their schedule. And that would basically ban anything that was semi-auto, mad-fed, and gas-operated from what I'm hearing and from what I read. All right, good deal. We're 5x5. That's the way we like to roll. So anyway, I didn't think I was going to be able to stream any of this today, but I had to come home, do laundry, and get ready to head out with the wife tonight. So I got some time to kill. So we're going to do this. Abigail, sup, sis? How you doing? So we'll see. And this is kind of an experiment, too. I decided not to stream to Rumble this time. And I kept the name of the stream kind of bland, as you can tell. And the last time I did that, we had 93 people up in here at the highest. So we'll see how this goes. Hey, hold on. What's my Senate doing? Where's my Senate? What are y'all doing? Why are you loading? All right, they're back. Apparently that was on their end, not mine. And I don't know whether they'll go by order on what's on the calendar today or what. But 25003 is the first bill that they have
on the calendar for today for the Colorado Senate. And then there's SB25-059. And this says concerning measures to support the state's response to mass shootings and in connection therewith to support services for victims of mass shootings. Those are the first two bills on their calendar for today. So we'll see what they do. Yeah, Friday, February 7th is 31st legislative day. Ava Flanell, her sister, have been ones putting out information about this. Warsaw sent me a bunch of stuff on it, trying to help me keep track of it. Because he likes to stay on top of this stuff too, all around the country. I like to stay on top of it. So, dang old Matt, my brother, what is up with you today? Hopefully, you're having a good Friday. So ultimately, we're going to see what they do. We might check in with the Fed government for a little while and keep an eye on that too, because they've been going pretty retarded today. No gun law stuff, but the Democrats from the House and I think some from the Senate were over at the Department of Education raising all kinds of hell today, and they were awful pissed they couldn't get let in the building, which was funny as shit, by the way. So there's that. And just kind of picking through. Pentagon Town Hall with Pete Hegseth apparently was today. I didn't see that. I'm going to keep an eye on the Colorado Senate. So far, they ain't even started talking yet. Maine is looking pretty cheap. I just really and truly, I am not getting my happy ass up anywhere up in that part of the country. Just not. Just what's up, brother man? How's it going? Hopefully you're doing well, brother. Let's see. Let's watch something a little bit more interesting for. Yeah, I didn't know this was an hour long.
It cannot be abolished except through an act of Congress. But the executive branch is not coming to Congress to work with us. So
Maine is great if you like
Congress is coming to
ice, snow, rain, and fog. Yeah, I bet it is.
Already, Trump and Musk have placed Doge staffers in the building where they have
My mother-in-law is actually up from New Hampshire, originally from New Hampshire. And I hear it's beautiful up there. I just have nothing in me that wants to go see it.
Who perform vital services on which our schools, teachers, and students depend on leave. So we're here today to follow up on a letter that 95 of my colleagues and I sent this week. We asked to meet with the acting secretary, and we have yet to receive a response. We are here to ask her, will you comply with an illegal
yeah, all in the same day? Yeah, probably so.
Department of Education. Although the president is determined to shut Congress out of the process, he will not. We will not allow it. We will not cede the responsibility for our future generations to one man, his ideology, and his unelected lieutenants. I will not stand for it. My colleagues will not stand for it. And today, we are demanding that the acting secretary meet with us and agree. Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
Colorado is still just sitting around right now, guys.
The Department of Education on a whim. Now, let me introduce the ranking member and former chairman of the Education and Workforce Committee, Bobby Scott, Virginia.
Let me know if the sound on that's good. Like I said, I'm just waiting for the Colorado Senate to actually get to work.
In Brown v. Board of Education, the Supreme Court said that it is doubtful that any child may reasonably be expected to succeed in life if denied the opportunity of an education. And we're going to make sure that children continue to get that opportunity regardless of what this administration wants to do. We know by reading Project 2025 what their intentions are. They want to close the Department of Education. They want to cut back on funding for low-income areas through Title I. They want to eliminate Head Start. They want to cut back on school lunches, cut back on access to college. And we're going to make sure
they want dogs to sleep with cats.
That has to go through Congress and through our committee. And if we can get 3 Republicans to join us on the committee, we can stop everything they want to do. And if it gets out of committee, we need 3 Republicans in the United States to join us to block what they want to do.
Let me see if I can pull up.
Department of Education. We can do this. We just need 3. So join us. We can stop the end of opportunity for our next generation and make sure those opportunities continue. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for being here today. As my colleague, Mr. Takano, said, we are here to demand a meeting with the Acting Secretary of Education. Donald Trump and his administration has promised over and over and over again to close the Department of Education. But just like everything else,
I can pull up the text of this bill. I'll post it in the chat.
What our process is for engaging Congress. And these smash and grab tactics will not work. Ranking Member Scott said we need Republicans. I would argue that we need 300 million Americans to stand up for their children, for our children, because the problems that they talk about with the Department of Education.
Here is a link to the bill.
Those are things the department handles. Those are all handled at the local level. But what the department does is civil rights.
Trump nominated this chick that used to be affiliated with WWE. I can't remember who the last Secretary of Education is.
What the department does handle is services for the 7 million special education students who receive them. What is the plan for those children? If you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. If you want to open the books, let's open the books. If you want to have some true oversight of the department, I'm here for it. But what you will not do is shut down this department and deny access to all of those children who need it while we're in Congress. That is not going to happen. And my colleagues and I are here to say, let's conduct some oversight of the department. Let's have some.
Let's shut her up for a second. Let's look at this. This is SB25-003. This is the bill we're looking at. Concerning prohibited activity involving semi-automatic firearms in connection therewith, prohibiting the manufacture, distribution, sale, transfer, sale, purchase of specific semi-automatic firearms, and classifying a device that increases the rate of fire of a semi-automatic firearm as a dangerous weapon. let's see. Bill defines a specified semi-automatic firearm as a semi-automatic rifle, semi-automatic shotgun with detachable magazine and or gas operated with a detachable magazine, or a gas operated semi-automatic handgun with a detachable magazine. Bill prohibits knowingly manufacturing, distributing, transferring, selling, or purchasing a specified semi-automatic firearm, except that a person may transfer a specified semi-automatic firearm to an heir, an individual residing in another state, or a federally licensed firearm dealer. This isn't exactly bill text, but this is all it gives me. Unlawful manufacture, distribution, transfer, sale, or purchase of a specified semi-automatic firearm is a Class 2 misdemeanor, except that second or subsequent offenses is a Class 6 felony. The Department of Revenue shall revoke the state firearms dealer permit of a dealer who unlawfully manufactures, distributes, transfers, sells, or purchases a specified semi-automatic firearm. Colorado Bureau of Investigation shall deny the transfer of any firearm to a person who is otherwise convicted of a misdemeanor, unlawful manufacture, distribution, transfer, sale, or possession of a specified semi-automatic firearm within a 5-year period to the transferor. Person convicted of a felony, unlawful manufacture, distribution, transfer, sale, purchase of a specified semi-automatic firearm is prohibited from possessing a firearm or certain other weapons. Got 2 words for these politicians. Yep. It's like 85% of all. Yeah, it really is. The way that this is worded, yeah, they could go crazy with this in a hurry. And get this, and here's the thing that bothered me when they first introduced this bill. So most of the time, bills like this would have to come up under the Judiciary Committee, because that's typically who handles legislation like this. They brought this up under the Veterans and Military, or State Veterans and Military Affairs Committee is who first brought this up. Now, it passed committee last week before, somewhere around there. This applies. This is just the summary. Let's see. Let's pull this up in this PDF. So here's a little Tyrannosaurus that are sponsoring this. Bill defines a specified semi-automatic firearm as. All right, so this is a definition of a specified semi-automatic firearm. It's a semi-automatic rifle or semi-automatic shotgun with a detachable magazine, or a gas-operated semi-automatic handgun with a detachable magazine. That wording is troubling, to say the least, because it looks like you could carve out for, your standard Glocks and shit like that, but the way they play with this shit sometimes, I don't know whether you could. All right. Bill prohibits knowingly manufacturing, distributing, transferring, selling, or purchasing a specified semi-automatic firearm, except that a person, which that was basically what was up there, and then unlawful manufacturer, that's basically the same thing that was in the bill summary. Existing law prohibits the possession of a dangerous weapon. The bill defines rapid fire device and classifies rapid fire devices as dangerous weapon under Colorado law. The bill repeals the definition of machine gun conversion device and removes machine gun conversion device from the list of dangerous weapons. So this is going to anything that increases the rate of fire for a firearm is the fuck me running, man. These people are insane. So this is a section that strikes. So it struck the definition of a machine gun. Now it's freaking just going after anything that will so-called increase the rate of fire. Rapid fire device means any device, part, kit, tool, accessory, combination of parts that has the effect of increasing the rate of fire of a semi-automatic firearm above the standard rate of fire for the semi-automatic firearm that is not otherwise equipped with that device, part, combination of parts. That could be a trigger job. That could be a drop-in trigger. That definitely FRTs would fall into that. Binary triggers, it sounds like, would fall into that. Because it's not in any way talking about like the single function of a trigger or anything like that. Increasing the rate of fire of a semi-automatic firearm above the standard rate of fire of the semi-automatic firearm that is not otherwise equipped with that device. Yeah, that could be drop-in triggers, that could be binary triggers, anything like that. Semi-automatic firearm means a firearm that is not a machine gun. Gee, thanks. And that upon initiating the firing sequence fires the first round or the first chambered cartridge and uses a portion of the energy of the firing cartridge to extract the expended cartridge case, chamber the next round, and prepare the firing mechanism to fire again, and requires a separate pull, release, push, or initiation of the trigger to fire each cartridge. That's a really awfully wordy way of defining a semi-automatic firearm. Semi-automatic firearm includes a semi-automatic rifle, semi-automatic shotgun, semi-automatic handgun. Enforcement of large capacity magazine ban by regulating the manufacturer, distributor, transfer, sale, and purchase of specified semi-automatic firearm. Penalties and definitions. Cycle the action. Jesus Christ, they are really getting into it. Cycle the action means to extract the fired cartridge case, chamber the next cartridge, and prepare the firing mechanism to fire again. Detachable magazine means an ammunition feeding device that is not permanently attached to the firearm and may be removed from the firearm without rendering the firearm incapable of accepting any magazine. Jesus Christ, whoever was writing this shit for Gifford these days was really, really smoking that meth. Oh, absolutely, Abby. Gas-operated semi-automatic handgun means any semi-automatic handgun that harnesses or traps a portion of the high-pressure gas from a fired cartridge to cycle the action using any of the following: long stroke pistons, And so I'll go ahead and read all this out. It's a long stroke piston system in which gas is vented from the barrel to a piston that is mechanically fixed to the bolt group and moves to cycle the action. Short stroke piston in which the gas is vented from the barrel to a piston that moves separately from the bolt group so that energy is imparted through a gas piston to cycle the action. A system that traps and vents gas from either the barrel or the chamber to directly strike or impinge the bolt carrier, or slide assembly to unlock and cycle the action. A hybrid system that combines elements of a system described in subsections 1C1, 1C2, 1C3. Hold on.
Has been moved and probably
Uh,
sustained.
Let me know where the audio
Please
sticks
close
here
the
because
doors, allow
Senate's
no
starting to
speakers leave,
talk.
and return those who are absent from the chambers. Mr. Schaffler, please call the roll.
Let me know if the audio is good.
Amabile. Baisley. Ball.
Man, I wish I could do that.
Bridges. Bright. Carson. Catlin. Cutter.
Not as long as you can clearly hear.
Danielson. Excused. Doherty. Exum. Frizzell. Gonzalez. Hendrickson. Jaquez Lewis, excused. Judah. Kip. Kirkmeyer. Colker. Liston. Lundeen. Marchman. Michelson Genet. Mullica. Pelton B. Pelton R. Pelton R.
There's the full text of the bill, too, that I just posted.
Rich. Roberts. Rodriguez. Simpson, excused. Snyder. Sullivan. Wiseman. Winter. Bridges. Cutter.
What's up, Ribbit? How you doing today?
Doherty. Marchman. I say, Mr. President? Mr. President.
Blue curtain burner, what's up,
Let's
brother?
do this. Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Am I raising the call? Does he have to raise the call?
Majority Leader Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I raise the call.
The motion is to raise the call. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the call is raised. Mr. Schaffler, please mark Senator Marchman as excused. Members, before we move forward with second reading of bills, I'd like to acknowledge that we
Yeah,
have
true that, Blue.
former senator here with us on the floor and assistant minority leader. Please join me in welcoming Greg Brophy to the floor. Senator Brophy. You said which district? And which district might that be? All right, on to business. General order, second reading of the bill. Senator Weissman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general orders, second reading of bills.
You heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The Senate resolve
They
itself.
call up 003 in this other bill. They should
take the chair.
have some debate, and they should have some amendments to the bills. So we'll see. It's possible they could
Committee will
skip
come to order.
over.
Code rule
and not
is
even hit 'em
relaxed.
today.
Mr. Schaffler, please read the title to Senate Bill 3.
Senate Bill 3 by Senators Sullivan and Gonzalez and Representatives Basnicker and Froelich concerning prohibited activity involving semi-automatic firearms and in
Here it
connection
is.
with prohibiting the manufacture, distribution, transfer, sale, and purchase of specified semi-automatic firearms and classifying a device that increases the rate of fire of a semi-automatic firearm as a dangerous weapon.
Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Bill 3 lay over until Thursday, February the 13th.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor of laying over, please say aye. Any opposed, say no. Ayes have it, and Senate Bill 3 is laid over until Thursday, February 13.
Well, so
Mr.
they
Schaffler,
pushed it
please,
over
read
again.
the title to Senate Bill 59.
Senate Bill 59 by Senator Sullivan and Representative Woodrow concerning measures to support the state's response to mass shootings and in connection therewith to support services for victims of mass shootings.
Senator Sullivan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move Senate Bill 25-059.
To the bill.
Resources and data are one of the key elements in solving any problem. Gun violence is a public health crisis, as announced recently by the Surgeon General. Senate Bill 059 defines a mass shooting as at least 4 people other than the shooter who are injured or killed with a firearm by the shooter. It further asks that DPS apply for and expand federal and other grant money available to support these victims. Most mass shootings don't make it to the front page of 97 newspapers across the country, like the day my son Alex was murdered. Many are random acts of violence or domestic violence related. These victims and survivors of those tragic events aren't any less impacted and traumatized than the other 11 murdered along with Alex and the nearly 70 who were injured. The support that anyone who has been affected by a mass shooting is complex. It has many different levels and comes at different times for each survivor or victim. We now are doing more research on the reasons for gun violence, and having a standard definition statewide for mass shooting would be a benefit. I believe that this is a step to getting services and support to all those who need it and help them when they need it the most. We should not allow the headlines of our daily newspapers or the breaking news reports on TV to dictate who gets the help when they need it. And that's really the crux of all of this, is a firm definition of what it is, because there are state services, there are service organizations, there is national services that are available to people who are impacted by a mass shooting. And dependent upon what you call it in your jurisdiction is whether those people are going to get the services that are provided or they're able to. I know my family got services from that and continued for quite some time from our
our local DA and all of that kind of stuff. And I know I still have their numbers. I can reach out to them and they'll help whenever they can. But more often, these are done in our neighborhoods that we don't hear about. And again, as I remind you, they're not any less impacted than my wife and I are. So that's all it is. It's not telling anybody to handle things differently, that you have to process it differently. It's just that you refer to it as that. When the data starts coming out, we'll be able to put it and mark it up as a, that's why you see such a difference between FBI numbers and, you know, what somebody like the Gun Violence Archive puts out. That's why there's such a disparity in that. If we can get those better while we're doing this research, it will help us understand the problem, and the people out there who need the services, they'll be able to apply for it. So with that, I ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. Is there further discussion on Senate Bill 59? Seeing none, the question is the adoption of Senate Bill 59 on second reading. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Ayes have it. 59 is adopted. Mr. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move for call, rise and report.
All right. The question is to rise and report. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed, say no. Ayes have it. The committee will rise and report.
All right. So they're not going to do anything with 003 today. So what I might do, what I'm going to do,
Senator, come back to order. Senator
because
Wise.
I want to keep this
Mr.
just
President, the committee of the whole has
on
met and has had 2 bills under consideration. Will the clerk
the
kindly
Colorado bills. They don't call anything up here in a
February
minute. I'm
7th,
going to kill
2025,
this
Mr. President,
stream, and
your
then we'll
committee of
just
the whole
start a
begs
goof
leave to
off
report
stream.
it has had under consideration the following attached bills, being the second reading thereof, and makes the following recommendations thereon. Senate Bill 59, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Senate Bill 3, laid over until February 13th, 2025, and retaining its place on the calendar.
Senator Wiseman.
I move the Senate adopt the report of the committee of the whole.
The motion is the adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? Senators, Mr. Minority Leader. Pelton B. Kirkmeyer. Bright. Pelton R. Frizzell. Carson. Baisley. Liston.
So yeah, it sounds like they're not going to do anything with 3. They're going to send it over to next week. The bill about
With a
the
vote of
information
21
stuff
ayes,
and the
10 noes,
support
0
Dude was just
absent, and
talking
4
about, that was
excused.
a reading, so there's not
Committee
going to
of
be
the
any
whole
debate
report
on
is
that.
Adopted.
So I tell you what, I'm going to kill this stream because I want to keep this one set just for
Senate Bill 003 laid over until 2/13/2025 and retain its place on the calendar.
just for 003. So anyway,
Message from the House first.
let's see what he
The
says
House is
here.
adopted and transmits herewith House Joint Resolution 1010, House Joint Resolution 1011, House Joint Resolution 1012, House Joint Resolution 1013, House Joint Resolution 1014, House Joint Resolution 1015, House Joint Resolution
All right,
1016,
so they're not
House Joint
hitting shit.
Resolution 1017,
All right.
House Joint Resolution 1018, House Joint Resolution.
So yeah, they ain't doing nothing with that today. So I'm going to end this stream here, guys, and then I'm going to just pick up a goof off stream after this, and we can just hang out and shoot the shit. I'm glad they passed it over. If they passed it over today, it pretty much means that they didn't have the Democrat votes on the floor to actually pass it. So basically, they're working on this. If they get it done, they'll pass it to the House. Then the House will work on their version, and then if it passes, go to the governor. But it looks like they're kind of scared they ain't got the vote yet. So anyway, I'm going to end this one. You perps be cool. I'll see you in just a couple minutes, man. I still got laundry I got to take care of. So we're still going to roll a goof off stream. So we'll see you in a minute.